Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Can I get a one? If you hear me, I'm waiting on Colette de jour. I know she'll ask for us to put one up in that bitch. Religion free is up in here. We got all the ladies in here. Hashtag all. Right? We have always a flex up in this piece. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate them ones because we sound so clear. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the first Tuesday of this wonderful year. I hope these past 3 days, which consists of the entirety of your 2023, has been amazing. Let me say this real quick. Check it out. You remember last year when you made it was this time last year when you made that promise to yourself, and you was holding good till around end of March, April. Don't do that shit this year. As a matter of fact, I'm not really into New Year's resolutions because it gives people excuses around October, November, December to go ahead and indulge in fuck shit until because I'm gonna stop doing this next year. Y'all make this year better than last year. And keep the promise to your goddamn self, whatever that is, so that you can improve yourself, right? Get safe, get motherfuckers out of your life that ain't supposed to be there. You know good and goddamn well who's supposed to be there. I'm not gonna be the one mentioning 2023 as a year like that because guess what? It's divestment, period. Point blank, period. To the end of the world. But check it out. Some of those consequences that we talked about last year are rolling in. Ladies, they're rolling in. And I hate to sound like nanny boo boo, but god damn it, this is very fucking embarrassing. Okay? I also seen some people that are actually making changes, honestly. Like, I put it like this. You got people that have brothers that they're finally recognizing who they goddamn sibling is. He's an ashy, dusty son of a bitch, and she's able to say that now because she knows exactly what the fuck is going on. She's able to see through the bullshit. I wanted to share with y'all a post that was shared with me. Let's go share screen. It's this black woman on Facebook who has a trashy ass brother. I mean, trash ass brother. And she's able to say that fucking shit. And I'm so goddamn proud of her. I don't know what to do. I wish I knew who she was exactly so I can tell her, go, go, girl. Let's go. I blocked her name out because in fact, I don't know her and I don't want to put her shit out here. But check it out. She said, good afternoon. I typically don't expose people's personal business, right? However, a life will be in jeopardy in a few hours once this coward brother of mine is released from Shelby County Jail. When have y'all ever known black women to do this? I'm so fucking proud of her. I don't know what to do, right? Hopefully she don't go back on the word when she finally do see her brother. But black women normally take up for the men in their family. That's why they have a problem with hashtag all. Hashtag all rubs they motherfucking ass the wrong way. I almost said something else. It rubs their ass the wrong way when you say all because they start thinking about their brothers, their uncles, daddies, whoever. The fact of the matter is everybody's black man is somebody's brother. 9 times out of 10, somebody's father. Definitely somebody's son. And that bitch is still dusty. Okay, you do what you want to do, but these niggas is dusty. It just is what it is. Check it out now. She says, for over a decade, my brother has beat countless women. Do you hear me? To sleep, she says. So he was knocking bitches out. Her brother, knocking bitches out. Okay, he has knocked out teeth, stomped them in the head, spit on them, burned their bodies with lighters. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Look what it says next. Physically abuse their children. Where have we seen that at before? Now, I don't know what type of abuse she means, but we're gonna go with 62%. That's where I'm going with it. Okay, pulled their hair out by the roots, smashing out windows in the car, acting like a show enough sissy ass nigga. I thought only bitches did that, right? That's what they said, right? I can't do this, y'all, but I'm very, very, very happy for her. That she sees who and what her brother is. Okay, where we at now? Shelby County caused them to be evicted. A lot of that's coming up this year. Hello, we got some of that shit tonight. Okay, from countless homes, choked them unconscious, forced sex acts. That's the R word. R word. Okay, taking money against their will. It goes on and on and on. But check it out. There's 2 women. And I'm sure they're black women, okay, that's trying to get him out of jail. These are the bitches that I say are dangerous as fuck. First of all, black men have a lot of black women in very weird financial situations because they're responsible for taking care of these niggas' kids and all this shit here. Affordable housing, they trying to come up with $370. Well, at the time, we're trying to come up with $375 to get out a nigga that's busted windows, touched children, pulled hair out by the roots, knocked bitches' teeth out, knocked them out, blah, blah, fucking blah. These bitches, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse, but I'm swirling around those bitches. Those bitches are the ones that I call bitches because guess what? From that paragraph, it looks like about 5 women. Well, let's just be, kind of, let's say the low end. About 5 women that he has fucked up. Sometimes permanently. A lot of times burn marks don't go away. But here's the deal. They're willing to get him out of jail. They're willing to save this nigga while starving their children, while starving their rent. You get what I'm saying here? I don't know if we're going to see more of this with the sisters of the Dusties, recognizing who the fuck they are. But I'm loving this shit. And I know y'all wondering who this nigga is. For doxing purposes, I blurred out a lot of shit, but this part is public. Mr. Daryl Harris, this motherfucker, right? This is who's knocking out teeth, pulling hair out at the roots and all that good shit. I don't know what's wrong with you black women, but he is a lot of times black women's type. He got the dreads, he's brown skin, He thugged out, swagged out, all the shit here. And a lot of black women translate, violence to love. He wouldn't be violent if he didn't care. Bullshit. Bullshit. The people that they out here robbing, he fucked them up too. You trying to say that he loved that white dude that he robbed over there on Fifth Street? I don't think so. What's going on, Aaliyah? So far, I got to hear what you got to say on this.
Well, I mean, all I have to say is good for her. I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong, and at least she can be honest about it and tell the truth. I mean, her brother should be no exception. If he's doing all that shit, and I wonder how long she sat back though and
Mm-hmm.
knew he was doing all that before she finally decided to speak up. But I mean, I can't be too mad at this because better late than never, right? So I guess, any progress is some, at least I feel like we're getting somewhere with some of these women, but, some progress is better than nothing. That's all I'll say.
In that paragraph, man, she said that he has so many children in Shelby County that the family stopped counting. How is it so easy for them to get you? It is a privilege for one of these niggas to get you in, but you don't know that. They got you thinking that you ain't worth a damn, and that's why it's important that your self-esteem is low, because this ugly motherfucker on this goddamn screen wouldn't have a chance with me and nobody I deal with. Period. In his wildest fucking dreams. What's going on, Phoenix? Ebony Phoenix, that is.
Hello, hello. Well, when you were doing that description, God, I almost said, "Where's my daddy?" Um,
Oh shit. Damn.
hey, it's the truth. I'm happy that women are they're starting to see the light after so many people's teeth have been knocked out and heads have been stomped on and heads have been pumped full of bullets and things like that. Nice. Okay, that's good. But I am pleading with anybody listening to this. These women they are not getting anything out of this. They're just trying to help you. Please listen. Please listen. You've got receipts from here to the end of the earth. Just listen. Give it some thought. There's nothing wrong with just giving it some thought. Start there.
You know these niggas are getting really, really bad when they sisters are starting to turn on them. Because I've seen video, y'all, where the sister will go beat up her niece's or nephew's mother over this nigga, over some shit he says. The shit is ridiculous. What's going on, Snapple?
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm totally with you on being so proud of this woman who aired her dusty ass brother out. And I hope it's a shift, I'm not surprised by this motherfucker that looked like a knuckle in the face. I'm just happy his sister saw the light. I mean,
I hope it
you're right.
lasts.
We don't see this. We see them mammying, not my brother. Well, what did she do? Da. Like, this is so refreshing.
I know this is putting a spark up under some of these people's asses. Yes, people, the tide is changing. There's some awful shit coming too, but I figured I'd start with the good news. There's black women that actually see the goddamn light. Now, what made this happen with her? I can't say. Maybe he punched her in the fucking face. You never know, because sometimes people don't know fat meat greasy till they bite it, right? But as long as she's getting there, I'm good to go. This year's getting ready to bring some bullshit. I want you to know that y'all are getting ready to see a wave of violence because people are going to be hungry. I'll get into that in a second. What's up, Kyra?
Good evening, DZ, and good evening, ladies. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
So, we've talked about this before on the panel. So, he has more kids than they lost count.
Yes.
What's the odd of all those kids knowing about each other?
Thank
They
you.
don't. They're not
So,
being raised together.
so that goes back to what we've talked about, how there's that covert unintentional incest, because when these kids grow up, when they start their hormones turning on, they will be inadvertently hooking up with their own half siblings and first
Absolutely.
cousins, and then you wonder why the IQ of the black community keeps going down and down.
Absolutely. Y'all, this is part of it. Hold up a second. You bring up a very good point, Kyra. Listen to these stupid bitches here, please.
Share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted. I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They gonna go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally. Like, what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. The person who watching
And
this,
then,
the
you know
person who
what gets
comment
me?
about to get cheated on. If you've been cheated on, comment me.
Listen, these are the type of bitches that this nigga on this screen go for. They're making excuses for bullshit. You don't see it in getting any better. So even you've been sharing since day one. Let's just keep that shit real. This is not some new motherfucking thing that you're trying. These niggas been fucking everybody since day one. Now, they are literally signing up. Ladies, you gotta leave the black community, especially if you're family oriented. You gotta leave the black community. You've been sharing since day one. You're not doing anything different. You're not going against the grain. Okay. Now you just saying it because you don't want to look like a fucking fool out here. When Mr. What is this nigga's name? Hold up. Let me go up a little bit. When Mr. Daryl Harris get his ass out of jail, you're gonna use that as a way to, soothe your soul because he's going to see Tasha first. He's not going to see you first. He's going to see Tasha. Then he's going to see Keisha, Jasmine, and then maybe you next. Okay. It is what it is. What's going on, Shane?
Nothing much. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hey. Nigga free 2023.
Okay.
With the young lady who is making this post, I'm wondering if maybe she's just now saying something because maybe she's older. Maybe when he started a lot of the shit, she was a child, so she maybe felt helpless and couldn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably was scared to death. I mean, if he's out here doing all this fucked up stuff to these women, hey, there's no telling what he was doing to her when they were children or whatever living in the house. She could have just been scared to death to say something. So I'm just glad that she has the courage to put this nigga on blast. And after this post, if he gets any dang on woman to give him the time of day, especially ones that he's already violated, I can't say that I'm going to cry any type of tears or feel sorry for what he's going to do to those women, because already. There's just like his own sister, a young woman who was, and like you said, 9 times out of 10 would have made excuses and defended him, is coming out and saying this motherfucker's a demon and you're going to still fool around with him. There's something wrong with you. So I just pray that he doesn't get any new victims. Clearly there's 2 of his old victims going to be, still fooling with him, trying to get him out of jail. And I think also too, when these felons or these violent criminals, they are clearly violent. I think that if they get out and then they violate somebody else, I think these people who know that they're violent, who help them get out, should face some type of consequences as well. Because you're liable. Liable because you let an animal out on the street. You fought to get them back out on the street. You should have some type of be liable for something.
Well, ladies, check it out. If that didn't do anything to you, I want you to see this. I know that there's a lot of people that suffered during the C-19 situation. This was in 2020. Here we are at 2023. Almost all of these states at this point are ending a lot of their shit that they was helping y'all with January 31st. It was one state that went to February 15th, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, let me share my screen again because I want you to avoid this shit. You don't have to do it. Stop giving these niggas babies. Start there. Okay, stop giving them sex. Stop giving them any fucking thing. It's been this way too long in the black community. And if you're still waiting on the black community to change, I got bad news for you. I got some real bad news for you. It ain't going nowhere, boo. It's not. Let's take a look because it's on now. Let's go.
Around South Carolina preparing to lose extra grocery money. that they've been getting since March of 2020. The South Carolina Department of Social Services announcing today that emergency SNAP benefits will end on January 31st. In February, recipients will see their benefits return to pre-pandemic levels. Our Ashley Jones spoke with a mother of 5 about what this means for her family.
On January 31st, the SNAP emergency supplements will come to an end. The emergency supplements were added back in March of 2020 to give extra support to families struggling during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what this means for people who are receiving SNAP benefits is that you'll see a decrease in the money you were getting during the height of the pandemic. For example, a 2-person SNAP household whose regular SNAP allotment is $250 a month was receiving an extra $266 with the emergency allotments, bringing them to the maximum benefit amount of a 2-person household, which is $516 a month. A single mother of 5 tells me this is not the best time to roll back on that extra funding.
I'm very upset because now that
Okay, y'all already know this is going to be some bullshit. Black folk don't understand the word of emergency, temporary, allotment, and they don't understand time frames. When you give black folks an inch, they take them out. And I can hear mammies right now, but they act like white bitches ain't. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. You look like me, goddammit. And you are the problem when I go and venture off into Atlanta. That part. So miss me with that bullshit. And your kids ain't white, your man ain't white, ain't nothing. Why you every time some shit come up like this? White folks do it too. White people do it too. White men do domestic violence. White men got an afro too. White men listen to snap music too. Fuck you. We talking about this right here. Now she finna get on your nerves. Let's go.
that forces me to have to go and get more than one job, possibly to be able to take care of the whole household. You know, I do have small younger children that are in middle school, elementary school, and high school. So, you know, with different children and grade levels, they have different appetites, different metabolism. So
that whole speech was supposed to be given to their father. That entire speech about their metabolism, them being in elementary school, middle school, high school, all that shit, that's reserved for your kid's father. But you know what? Y'all got it fucked up. Y'all got it fucked up. It's the entitlement for me. I have to get another job. Well, ma'am, you would have to get another job regardless. But check this out. Why are you giving niggas 5 babies? Knowing that they don't like their kids, knowing that they don't like you, knowing that they're not going to help, knowing that they're always talking about they're oppressed, they don't like you, but they were able to get 5 random ages of kids at all levels with you. And you getting on here talking about their metabolism. Y'all, you have to get away from these women too. It's always going to be an excuse. You know what she should have said? Damn, I hate that this is coming to an end. We'll figure it out. And then get in them niggas' faces. Take your ass down to that child support office. If you got to get blood tests, get a fucking blood test. But people are tired of hearing this. And you knew goddamn well that those benefits were temporary, didn't you? It's called temporary. Aaliyah, hello.
See, here's the thing. That they've been stopped those extra food stamp allotments in Georgia. They stopped that shit back in May of last year. So they have actually given them quite a bit of extra time. And this is just in South Carolina. And this is just one of many states to come, because it's to my understanding they'll be doing Pennsylvania by May of this year too. So I think a lot of states are about to follow suit as far as removing those extra benefits. But again, they're still going to be getting the old amounts. And I heard that they were about to get a cost of living adjustment. So they're inflation. So they're adjusting for that. So it's not like they're being completely cut off. That's my thing. But hey, it is what it is. They're taking away the extra ones. And like I said, this is just one of many states to come. But here's the thing, Black women, you got to start doing much better than this. Whatever your situation is, I'm just going to put it bluntly because y'all know how I am. Stop doing all this fucking. If you're already struggling, having babies on top of babies is not going to help. I'm sorry. That's why I never wanted kids. If I had to be by myself and struggle by myself, I just thought it was very selfish for me to bring somebody else along with me that has all these extra needs that I just couldn't meet.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just me. And even when I went to school, I graduated, started making more money, improving my situation. I just never wanted kids. I just never wanted that responsibility. I just
You
and
know,
you
in the
got
black community, I've heard
Mhm.
them say so many times, when you gonna have a baby? They ask each other that all the time. It's kind of like the black version of passing down assets. It's almost time for you to apply for your benefits. They like it's some sort of rite of passage. Like they being knighted or some shit. You're gonna be 19 next year. It's almost time for you to apply for Section 8. They so fucking weird with this shit. And then they fight the same people that they asking for it from. I don't get it. Like, women, you deserve better than this. This ain't it. This ain't it, y'all. Go ahead, Snapple, because I'm ready to. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, I was just about to say, and the thing is, we already know that we don't have any help. We don't have a group of men that we can count on. They already know. Most of the time, when you tell these men about this shit, very few of them stick around. It,
Mm-hmm.
it Stop doing it. Stop doing it. But then when you tell people this shit, they want to talk about your shame and all this other shit. Look, telling somebody that if your situation already fucked up, add more kids on top of it is definitely not gonna help the situation. If you feel like that is shame rather than being honest, I don't know what else to tell you. Stop doing it. You cannot afford it.
Hmm.
I don't know
Unfortunately,
too many who can.
unfortunately, you don't have a group of men that built anything for you. That's why you're not gonna get in my face with the white bitch, because we're gonna have to talk about all of their men at that point. And you don't want to go head up like that when it comes to building, providing, protecting. Okay, you don't want to do that. So go ahead and lead them folks out of it. This is a A and B conversation at this point. God damn it. Go ahead, Snapple.
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying and just agree basically, like in the community, they actually have the audacity to shame and side eye women who don't have kids. And when they reach their 20s and they don't have kids, instead of them being proud of them and happy that they didn't do that dumbass shit, they shame them like, oh, well, what's wrong with you? You ain't got no kids. Da, 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 da. So that's one thing. And another thing is Homegirl in the video that was just played. It's the entitlement for me. Like, girl, I never understood
Yeah,
it. I never
yeah.
understood it. Like, I mean, you just think you're entitled to all these handouts? Like, you laid your ass down, you made those kids, and you know the father should be held accountable also, but right now you got to deal with what's right in front of you. Go get your ass up and go get you a couple more jobs, some side hustle, some something. Like, it is what it is. That's why shout out to the young Black women who did not become baby mamas and who did
Mm-hmm.
not fuck up their whole future. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Every baby is not a motherfucking blessing. Okay,
Thank you.
period.
I
Just
have
because
a
you
I have
got
a very
pregnant, that doesn't mean, oh, you got pregnant, that was God's choice. Leave God out of this. Leave
thank
Sky Daddy
you.
out of this. You laid your ass down. You did that dumbass shit. Now do what you got to do to provide. Don't be sitting here crying to the white man that y'all love to hate.
But
No.
that's what it is,
I,
though, right? It's that constant cycle of everything that happens to me or that I do is somehow not my fault or not my responsibility. Everything is happening to them, not that they are actually engaging. It's just a lack of, I say, I know I
Well,
am like a
it's white
broken
people's
record.
fault. It's white people's fault because of slavery. Because of slavery, uh, ground beef is high. Because of slavery, that nigga got 4 and 5 baby mamas. It trips me out.
but here's the thing. Black people have always taught each other not to have any fucking agency,
Mm-hmm.
any self agency. And I never understood it. I'm going to tell you a funny story. I remember when I was in school and I was married, and I had one of my little relatives, little girl, she was about 8 at the most. And she said, I heard you ain't got no babies. You're barren.
The
Okay.
fuck?
Yes. I was in med school, and my husband and I had been married for a long time, no children because hell, who can do that? So yeah, I had relatives making up stories that I had like several abortions. It had to have been. Oh, I'm barren. My eggs done died.
Black
This
people
is
are
what they
fucking
were saying.
ridiculous. They are
This is what
ridiculous.
they were saying about me simply because I postponed postponed motherhood for a long time. I had to. Okay,
Look,
and I wanted to, but because I wanted to, I was a freak.
look, the most important days for black women in that so-called Blackistan community is prom and baby shower. It's never wedding. Never wedding because you don't open up your options. You waiting on somebody, right? That has options of all 50 of you bitches that's on that same street because you give them access to you, by the way. You waiting on that. But since you want to dress up and do reveals and do all this bullshit here, it's prom and your baby shower. These bitches starting to dress up like brides at their baby showers. Have y'all seen that?
Yes, Deezy. I've
No.
seen. Girl, I'll show you some pictures after this. But yes, they are
Okay.
dressed in white gowns with tiaras and all that shit. They
Oh,
spend
you're lying. Oh
no,
my God.
they spend thousands of dollars like they would for a wedding, and it's just for a baby shower. And let's not talk about the multiple baby showers these same chicks throw. I guess, investing the money for their child would be too sensible. Let's blow it on some ghetto ass shit.
I don't think they believe what they're saying, honestly. Because if the world is this bad, if America is this bad, Europe is this bad, and it's so hard to be a black person. If you give a fuck about your kids, why are you having them? You don't want them in a world that's going to have them oppressed, do you? You don't want them in a world where there's food insecurity and high housing rates and that type of shit. Or are you sitting here lying, playing victim, acting like everything was done to you, but you don't mind throwing them legs up and that ass in a circle whenever that dusty son of a bitch comes around? Huh?
DZ, earlier you said, where is the father of her 5 kids? Now you know there's more than one. Stop playing. You
Thank
need
you, Kyra. Thank you.
stop playing. Now, let's be real. Multiple baby daddies, and look, yeah, shout out to the ones who never birthed out of wedlock, and also shout out to the ones who were one and done. You learned your lesson. You're not like this chick on the screen who just kept going back 2, 3, 4, 5, and dare I say, if some grape smiles on her face, 6.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not all, my brother ain't like that. I'm so glad that shit is slowly starting to, go away.
If she can see him, because that left eye looks swollen than a motherfucker. I'm just going
I'm
to put that out.
screaming.
But
Just saying.
But you're forgetting 2 things, DZ. There's 2 things. One, we're fighting white supremacy because remember, it was Margaret Sanger who introduced birth control to control the black population. And also, remember, these are women of the church. So you can't use birth control because that would be admitting that you would be doing it. It's much better to fornicate outside of marriage. That's more in line with Christian values.
Listen, y'all, that's forehead number 1. Let's look at forehead number 2.
We begin tonight with DSS. Today, the agency said starting February 1st, all SNAP households will go back to receiving their regular monthly benefit amount. Since the start of the pandemic in March of 2020, emergency COVID SNAP benefits were added to help families out. Local recipients say they're worried, though, about the reduction, telling us they've been using these extra benefits for food during inflation.
Eggs is expensive. Chicken is expensive.
I gotta go back. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Food during inflation.
Eggs is expensive. Chicken is expensive. Everything that you put towards on your table is expensive. And the extra money that I had, if I had any extra money, it went towards gas in the car so that I can be able to go back and forth to work.
Listen, she said that shit with command. Girl, that's called being a fucking adult. I don't know. Look, in the Black community, I guess they don't tell you. At some point, you have to pay for food. At some times throughout your adulthood, inflation happens, rent increase happens, recessions happen, hell, depressions happen. She looking at that camera like, hey, God damn it, now go do what you're supposed to do. I got to eat. I need these eggs and this chicken. Fuck that shit. Let's go back to this weirdo.
Eggs is expensive. Chicken is expensive. Everything that you put towards on your table is expensive. And you, the extra money that I had, if I had any extra money, it went towards gas in the car so that I can be able to go back and forth to work.
I can't. That is their
You wrong,
political.
DZ. You wrong. You are wrong for that.
It sounds like it sounds like she's supposed to put a 100 aside at the chicken part.
You could have put music to that track. That's why DJ stop that. Eggs is expensive. Chicken is expensive. Like, it's just extra.
Look, and these be the type of women that be out here marching for niggas. Girl, if the price of eggs, listen to me, if the price of eggs got you in front of a camera doing this shit and your men have not provided anything, no fucking should be going on. This is the same type of chick that let her uncle stay. Her son, he can stay till he's 50 years old. Okay. The reason your eggs expensive, ma'am, is because you have to buy 5 dozen of them because them niggas staying in your house. Oh, and by the way, your daughter having 3 and 4 kids by all these niggas. And you looking at the camera like the fucking system did something wrong.
The chicken is expensive.
She ain't lying about that though. Them chicken wings high as hell, but still.
But some good news though, you know, now that they're reducing these benefits, we might actually be able to buy some crab legs now, because you know, for a minute you couldn't find crab legs anywhere because they were buying them up and reselling them after they cooked it in their dirty kitchen. So we might be able to actually get some crab legs now.
Oh man,
that's what's up. I can't fucking wait, y'all. If you divested, right, you already know what the tea is. When you go to some of these grocery stores, especially during the C-19 situation, a lot of stuff was missing out of there because the others folks, they had more benefits. So they snatching shit off the counter. You got a point, Kyra. We might be able to find shit, our brand of shit that we looking for, because they always only got like 4 or 5 left of something. Because when you got a whole goddamn grand or stack, whatever you want to call it, of food stamps, money ain't no object. Get it all. Get them cookies, get that, and that filet. I gotta make sure Ape is okay. Go ahead.
I mean, look at us. We were dumbasses. I mean, here we are budgeting our paychecks and our income to buy groceries and, you know, budgeting and sometimes putting something back if it went too far out of our budget, when we could have just been like them, popping out a bunch of kids and getting a bunch of benefits and eating crab legs and filet mignon and sit on our ass. But you know what? This chick on the screen, she's going to surely be able to turn to her unicorns of the community. They're going to organize a food pantry. I'm sure the black fraternities are going to organize something to help out the black women, because they're the good black men. Oh,
or the black
me,
churches.
Oh,
the black
yeah.
churches.
Good point, Nefertiti. You're right. It's going to be these black churches that are going to organize something and help out the community.
Okay, and then y'all both woke up from that dream. Okay, not gonna happen ever.
Because eggs is expensive. Chicken is expensive.
Child, look, check it out, y'all. Oh, I can't wait for this one. So imagine a Dusty stays with you after you have this baby. Ladies, the ones that don't like other races of men, I got a treat for you. I found a Dusty that stayed. But why are you playing this shit, DZ? You got a goddamn propaganda machine here. Because your motherfucking life, it appears that it's no easier, ma'am. It appears that y'all having problems, ma'am. Money problems. What? Oh, let's go. I'm loving this.
When you can't buy, you rent. But even that has become a burden for many people.
Being priced out of renting is the reality for not just discouraged homebuyers, but young families, seniors, and anyone making minimum, heck, even median wages.
Christina Watkins found out what it's like to try to rent and keep an apartment nowadays.
You have burpee. Feel better?
They do that all the time. They put the cute baby up front because you know a GoFundMe is coming, right? And they know they grown rusty asses. That ain't gonna get nobody heartstrings. But her dusty stage, y'all, he still can't take care of these motherfucking babies or his wife. Let's go.
Better?
6-month-old Alessandra Patterson, or Ale, as her parents call her, is one happy baby girl.
There we go.
Her mom and dad, Angela and Jonathan Patterson, moved to Orlando from Miami in July of 2021.
Come to mommy.
Looking for more space to make sure their baby would have room to crawl, walk, and grow.
You want to push yourself backwards? Only a little bit. Can't reach the floor yet.
But they quickly learned, despite being college educated and having good jobs, finding a home in Central Florida wouldn't be as easy as they.
Oops. For you intellectuals out there, you know, because we ghetto over here. Nobody up here has any sort of degree. But for you intellectuals out there, this dusty son of a bitch went to college. This dusty son of a bitch, he stuck around. But guess who he got begging white people for shit? You, bitch. You. There's a picture of him. He ain't coming on here to embarrass himself like that. He put you and that fucking baby, that cute baby, I might add, because it's a cute baby. Let's just get it. Y'all gonna have to be the face of poverty and struggle. Let's keep going.
As they thought.
We're like, okay, let's try and get this going before she's born. And it didn't work out money-wise, savings-wise. Houses on the market were not really what I wanted. I was trying not to be too picky, but buying a house is an investment. And I didn't want to go into just buying it because just to have it, just to say, okay, we own a home.
So the Pattersons took a step back and extended their lease at this apartment complex in Apopka, giving them more time to look. And
that's y'all goal right there. Let's just keep it all the way funky. That's y'all's goal. That's a lot of these mammies that come for us. Their goal. It still consists of struggle, okay? I would love to follow this couple for another 2 years because you already know what's going to go down because the statistics say that that's what's going to go down. But y'all, you're looking at why people come for divestors because they got their fingers crossed tight as fuck that they can at least get into some sort of situation with one of these motherfucking niggas. Like I said, just pictures of him. The one who have to beg is you.
Is it me?
Go ahead, boo.
He looks fruity as hell. Is it just me or am I seeing too much? But look at his face. He looks sweet.
No, you're onto something. That's that's a smile of a man who has seen many a cock in his day. So just put that up there.
Let's see what the real problem is, y'all. Oh, it's coming.
Money, or so they hoped. But then they were hit with rising rent costs.
So it went up about $400.
That's the point I want to get to. Ladies, if a man cannot afford a $400 emergency, you should not be giving him children. If a man cannot afford a $400 emergency, he doesn't need children. Children are expensive. That's some bullshit right there. Go ahead, y'all.
And see, now I got questions. Y'all are both college graduates and you have jobs. What the hell did y'all degrees? That's what I got questions. Something ain't adding up. Now I'm not saying because I know different degrees, the payout, salaries may be a little bit different, but with both of your incomes and you are both college graduates and you still, something is not right about this story to me. But that's just me, But what really chaps my ass about these stories is you got all these men running around here talking about welfare took them out of the home and all this type of shit. But she's sitting up here with a whole husband and they never stop to ask themselves, if that was all it took to get rid of you, then you were that disposable. How much help could you really have been if they, if that's all it took for them to make the decision to get rid of you? How useful were you? So it's like, let's be real. Even though we know welfare is not what took them out the home because they was never there. They made the decision to leave. But like I said, if it is true, then you weren't very helpful in the beginning if that's all it took. And look
Y'all,
at him. He's not what use is he to her and the baby? You can't give them anything.
look, he literally sent her to the rental office to beg and barter. I'm not being hyperbolic here. She had to go down there and ask them, can you please you could raise it, but not that high. Nobody that doesn't have $400 to spare need a goddamn infant in their life. I've had two of them. Infants are expensive. But yeah, let's go and then y'all can tear it up.
For us, and that was a shock. We were given notice that it was going to go up, but the notice doesn't change the fact that I'm still working the same job.
How difficult is it to try to save when you're dealing with rising costs of rent?
To be honest, it's been rough. What we wound up doing was just turning on an automatic withdrawal type of thing. So we don't see it. It's going into our savings, but it's still hard.
Angela says when they first moved to Apopka in 2021, their rent for this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment was about $1,600, including electricity and water. This year, they said it went up to about $2,000, and that new price does not include utilities. Knowing this was just too much for their wallets, Angela's husband suggested they take a chance and try to negotiate with their property manager.
I went to her and I said, look.
She said, I went to her. He said, let's negotiate, and sent her ass out there to fight the battle. Ladies, Black women have always been the soldiers and warriors of the community. Hell, one of the most popular movies over this past couple months has been that goddamn Black King, Black Queen, whatever the fuck she was. She had to go in there and ask. That is so cowardice of that nigga.
But come on, DZ, what choice did she really have? Because my thing
to
is,
not
it
get
wasn't,
in no relationship with no
just saying
ass
this,
nigga.
of course. I'm just saying, in this particular situation, it wasn't like he could go in there because, again, when you see this grown ass man show up, able bodied, and every damn thing else, you're gonna have questions. Like, why? You said you are a college graduate, right? You are working. Both of y'all have two incomes coming in. You mean to tell me that you still can't afford to pay for somewhere for you and your wife and your child to live? And you are a man. See, that's the shit that they do. These are the questions that they don't want to answer. This is the music that they don't want to have to face. You cannot provide. You cannot. And you are the man. That's why he sent her. Because he know that somebody gonna check your nuts as a nigga. They gonna have questions.
Aaliyah, I truly think that this guy's probably not working, or he's working part-time.
That's what I thought.
That does, I mean, he's okay, so he's a college graduate. Okay, unicorn. You do what it takes. Period. But I am suspicious because it's like either he's probably underemployed, okay? And she's probably the one with the full-time job.
Y'all, this in the Black community is a success story. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? We talked about a whole lot of shit, but that community that stay coming for us, this would be classified as a success story. You got to go, ladies. You got to. Whoever I just cut off, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, that was me. I was. You always take the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say, this is Black Love right here. This is Black Love. This is the community. I mean, oh man, It's like every single Black love couple. This is what it is. You got a bum and you got a Black woman who has to be stuck in her masculine. Being assertive, going and making negotiations, working too damn much. Meanwhile, what the fuck is he doing? He's an able-bodied ass man. He could have 3 fucking jobs. What's his excuse? He could easily, if he was a real motherfucking man, but you know, these things are not. But any other man from any other group would, I mean, there's a multitude of things able-bodied men can do to bring in income to better themselves in their situation. But again, Black love. Every black love couple you see, all these fake ass photo ops, on social media, down your Facebook timeline, Instagram. This is the reality. This is the behind the scenes. It's unstable. It's poverty. It's pathetic.
My thing is, with all the dicks that he sucks, can he start charging for his services to help make it a difference? No, I mean, Mistress Rogue.
Tyra, man, wow.
But y'all saw him. Y'all saw him. You know good and well he looks sweet. You know good.
No chill.
Now, Mistress Rogue, you always say how many dicks a day a dude sucks when we're in Discord. So drop how many you think this dude sucks. Come on, Mistress Rogue.
Mistress Rogue be having me screaming in Discord when she call these bitches mouths dick portals. I mean, I can't. She be having me on the floor. And Charmaine is correct. Florida has a lot of those career colleges that, you know, them little commercials that come on in between Maury Povich and all that shit there. What are you waiting for? It's free type motherfuckers. So they never did say what their degree was in. So it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is.
My question is too, though. Okay, you couldn't afford a $400 pay increase, but you said you were looking for a house. How you looking for a house if you couldn't even afford a $400 rent increase? That makes no sense. She's lying about looking for a damn house. I think she's making up stories just to make her whole thing. I don't know. She's trying to make it look like they are, you know, this responsible couple and they were on track, and then all of a sudden all this shit happened and derailed everything. No, your shit was fucked up probably before, most definitely before you got married, and it's definitely fucked up before you had that baby.
Here's another question. Is that his only child? I doubt it. Check this out, y'all. Just a little piece of advice. If you're on your own, okay, and you have to, as an adult, expect for prices to go up on shit. Inflation is something that happens on a cycle all the time. It happens all the time. So you should have in your savings, if you get fired from your job, at least 6 months worth of rent payment sitting there so you can comfortably look for somewhere else to work. This is the type of shit that Black women weren't taught when they were children. It's like check to check to check to check. Oh, we made it another month. Oh, we made it another day. If you get fired, it should not be panic inducing. It should be like, okay, let me go do this. Meanwhile, you're able to, you know, pay your obligations for 6 months. That's why I'm always up here telling y'all, put some money in your savings account. I don't give a fuck if you start a change jar on your counter, baby. Have something in your pocket. $400 should not be putting a grown-ass man making his wife go on TV with the baby and fucking beg. Sorry, not sorry. But let's finish up this bullshit, or until we get tired and then make it start cussing again.
Look, I also changed my job this year. We had the baby. We don't have any family up here. We really don't have anywhere to go. Is there anything you can do to help?
Are you getting any new amenities? Is anything changing? Are they adding anything to the complex?
That was a big part of my husband's reason for us to negotiate, because nothing was changing.
To the Pattersons' surprise, their property manager agreed to lower their base rent to a price they could somewhat afford. If they hadn't, Angela says they would have moved back to Miami to live with family. Angela says even with the negotiated price, it's still expensive.
What have you all had to cut back on, if anything, because of the rising costs?
I would say kind of going out on Sunday.
That's a luxury for people that have extra money, period. You better grab you a Monopoly board and play with that nigga, bitch. That's what you should be doing. You fucked up right there with that. People don't pay for luxuries. They pay for necessities when you're getting it from other people. But like what Shane was just saying, the house that she wanted is not the house that she could afford at the time. And you know you have to have a beautiful home for your Facebook pictures. So you can stun on Instagram and take them pictures that she just took up there with homeboy and the baby. You know, you have to be in something that you dying every goddamn 2 weeks to pay for. Okay? That's that struggle shit. Let's go.
Sundays, we're huge football fans. So Saturdays or Sundays, going out to just spend some time outside of the house.
Is it almost check to check, sort of?
Absolutely.
Yeah, almost. So grocery shopping, gotta like, what do we buy here? What do we buy there?
Data.
Ladies, you don't want to live like that. I'm not going to go ahead and let that finish because it's kind of a long clip, but you don't want to live like that. You don't want to be running circles around your goddamn living room, you and your goddamn monkey, right? Saying we made it one more month. That shit is stressful. That's another one of the things that'll have your ass with high blood pressure. You know, all the stuff that Black women are known for, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all that shit. If you are giving somebody your love, you get what I'm saying? They should at least be able to make you comfortable so that you can relax.
And how much you're willing to bet that's the reason why she was able to get that rent reduced, because she went in there with that baby on her hip, and the rent man or rent person, whoever she went to speak to, I think she said it was a woman, whoever it was, looked at her and could sympathize with her with that baby. And that's why I say they been using these kids, and he was in his ass at home and didn't think twice about his, do you stop and think about, man, my wife and my child got to go around here and ask other people for mercy, sympathy, handouts? They have no pride. It's like, what the hell? Men used to be embarrassed if they could not provide for their wives and their children. They didn't even feel like a man if they didn't do that.
Fact.
Like, what the hell? And them actually agreeing to reduce that rent. That was a blessing, because
that was a miracle.
Most landlords do not give a shit about your personal problems. The rent is the rent, and it is what it is. So if you find one that's willing to compromise with you and say, okay, and then they had the nerve to say that still wasn't enough, girl, bye.
Charlie, are you Dusty?
Hello, ladies. I'm not Dusty. How are you all?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm great. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
I had to call in because this made me think of a Jose that I used to know. I work weird hours, so I would always run into the cleaning crew. And this dude would wake up at 6 a.m., go to work from 7 until 11 at one job, come home, have lunch with his family until 1, go to the second job from 1 until 5, and then the third job from 5:30 until 11:30 at night.
That's called
He didn't
manhood.
have any. Exactly. He had no papers. He paid his taxes. And he said he was overpaying because he didn't have any papers to prove it. So they could take advantage. Forgive me, I have a bit of a cold. And
no, it's okay. I knew you were sick. Soon as you opened your mouth, I'm like, oh, Charlie.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch of nurses and doctors on here. I know y'all know what y'all are listening to, but I'm just looking at this story and that adorable baby, and I'm just so sad because I know, as the stats say, he's gonna leave before that girl is 5.
Absolutely.
And he's gonna leave and say, "You were too masculine. Anytime you never let me handle any of the problems. Every time something happened, you went to the rental office. You went to the news. You went to do such and such. You never let me do anything."
So
it's like
excuses in the tub.
Exactly. So I'm so sad for that adorable little baby. And
yeah, I feel like she would do much better. Like Ebony was saying, I think that he is not pulling in enough money, probably because he worked part-time. She deserves better than that. I would put that motherfucker on child support, and we no, because I'm not going to be insomniatic and all that shit here just because you are a piece of shit nigga. And that's how they would consider him a unicorn, ladies.
Exactly. Yeah, and I didn't mention about Jose that I was just mentioning. He did all that because he wanted his wife to be at home with the kids. She didn't work outside of the house at all. So it's not even like, oh, well, he had 3 jobs and she had 2 jobs. No, her job was those kids in that house.
Damn.
And it's absolutely, absolutely crazy. It's heartbreaking. And just as you said, like there wouldn't be any babies, because I can't get excited if I'm feeling like the lights are going to be off or I'm not going to have somewhere to live next month.
Exactly. Motherfuckers tucking cum towels up under their bed and shit because they don't want you running that water. That water costs. So just wipe yourself off real quick, ass motherfuckers. Yo, Black people are a hot ass mess. The damn towel can stand up by its fucking self. I told him in Discord about this patient that I had, that he had an issue with jerking off. Okay. So he had a towel in the bed. That towel was stiff as fuck. You understand what I'm saying? This is the type, I'm serious. These are the type of people that these bitches are calling unicorns. I can't do it.
Yes, but I just had to come up here and say that and wish y'all a happy new year. And yeah, as y'all have said many times, it's hard to feel bad at this point. It feels like you're a volunteer. I can only feel bad for that baby.
Yeah, she's a cutie pie. Don't get it twisted. She's a fat-faced little cute thing.
Little chubby cheeks, just so adorable. But it's like, this woman, I'm sorry, honey, you're volunteering at this point.
Yep.
Ain't no way that you know. But anyway, y'all have a very happy new year and a great rest of your week.
Same to you.
Speaking of the baby, DZ ladies, have you noticed that they never have trouble trouting out little black girls to be the face and to be the soldiers for them? They brought out this little baby. Why couldn't she just be on camera by herself? They brought out the little black girl with the braids during the Saint Fentanyl marches, all the way back to Ruby Bridges. They love making little black girls bear the brunt of this bullshit.
Well, there's a reason for that, Kyra. There's a reason. You know why? Because the dominant society's men, that'll tug at their heartstrings. I know that sounds terrible, but I mean, the dominant society, I remember the painting with the little black girl in the tutu and the guy had a flag behind her with a gun or something. Anyway, you're right. But it's just they do that because they can get what they want from the dominant society if you put these cute little black girls up there.
That's a shame. That's a shame. What's going on, Mistress Road?
Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Awesome.
Well, Kyra, to your earlier point, I'm going to guesstimate he sucks at least one dick a day. Now he might suck a dick, but he's not the patron saint of dick portal, so we gonna give him that. But I'm like you, why isn't he charging to suck dick? And furthermore, with all these opportunities out here, did you know Google will train you to do digital marketing through a course they offer for absolutely free, and you can run digital ads for them, and they'll pay you up to $500 a week if you do it part-time, and that's just part-time. So what the fuck is his excuse? Because right now, that's all I'm hearing. And you're right. They always use little black girls as a face of struggle. And it's just as you said, Ebony, because that does tug at the heartstrings. Let's be real. I've been all over the world. You ladies know that. I've often spoke about what I've encountered when I talk to the men of those regions that I went to. And the one thing they say unanimously is that we don't mind if black women or black girls come to this country. The problem lies when you bring the men, when you bring the boys. There is something innately wrong with that motherfucking XY, that everywhere they go, something is tainted. Places lose the sacredness. At one point in Santa Rita, you couldn't even walk down the goddamn street. If you did, you better have your bag or something tucked in you or something in your bra, because them niggas from that continent, them diaspora niggas would literally run up on women and snatch their bags and take off running. That's where the crime and the robbery comes from. I don't understand why that's so hard for black women to wrap their head around. You're never going to get anywhere with them. Furthermore, y'all paying 50-50, and I said this in Discord, and forgive me for being crass. Why the fuck are you paying 50-50 but giving him 100% of your pussy? How does that make sense? You got to pay 50% and give him 100% of the pussy. That's 150%. Now, I am no mathematician, but last I checked, if you paying 50-50, you ought to be able to scissor that nigga or fuck him, because you doing all the motherfucking work.
Mr. Grove, can you please make us t-shirts of that? I need a t-shirt, a bumper sticker. I need a coffee mug. I need that. I need that
But it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, and you all are doctors and nurses or like advanced in your field. Tell me off the top of your head, as just an estimate, how much does it cost to have a vagina, an actual vagina, not one you bought? How much does that cost? Because you're talking about giving birth to children if you want to. You got to get checked for all these various cancers. You got to make sure the pH is balanced, is healthy. You got to worry about the pink tax. By my guesstimation, by my math, pussy's too expensive for niggas. So why are y'all giving it?
Period.
Why are you giving
it? I agree, but you know, this kind of talk with this community translates into prostitution. Basically, they're not hearing what you're saying. I agree, but you know, when you tell these people stuff like this, why are you going 50-50 but giving him 100% of your pussy? Also, are you supposed to be selling your husband your pussy now? That's how they think. So it's like, now you're missing the point. The point is, you have no business fucking a nigga, period, who cannot give you the lifestyle that you deserve. He cannot afford to keep you and your child a place to live, and you're still fucking.
And it's not just that. This is another thing that gets me. I'm so tired of them. Oh, you just a gold digger. Nigga, what gold mines do you own? What precious metals do you own? Because last I checked, not now nigga on this goddamn planet owned an emerald mine, a gold mine, a plutonium mine, not a goddamn thing. You let the Afrikaners, the Dutch, you let the Chinese, you let the white men of all of Europe. Shout out to Queen Elizabeth, because all the jewels from that crown that she once wore in her life came from the soils of Africa. You niggas ain't got no goddamn mines. You don't even own land, and somebody gonna gold dig. What the fuck they gold digging in? A mud puddle or a shit pond?
But that's why they want black women on the cheap. And they get them cheap. They get the most beautiful, talented, gorgeous black women cheap. And then they still leave.
It doesn't matter what you do for them. It doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is, there is something innately flawed with that thing. And I'm not calling it human. I'm not calling it XX. It's just a thing. It is what the fuck it is. There's something innately wrong with that motherfucker. It is defective. It is broken. I'm convinced that God only made these niggas because he had spare parts and they was about to expire at this point. Hell.
Maybe they're aliens. I don't know.
Now, aliens are considered to be intelligent life. They dumb.
Well, I mean, if you want to go biblical, well, you know my theory. I would stick to evolution, and that, they just didn't evolve past the, hominid stage to full Homo sapiens. I mean, I think the DNA and how their degenerate behavior is replicated across all socioeconomic classes and across different continents speaks for itself. But if you wish to go biblical, there the Nephilim or something. I can't speak.
I don't know, girl. I'm a heathen. I'm a goddamn heathen.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, we know they're demonic, and the Nephilim are supposed to be descendants of fallen angels and mating with mammies, women. So I'm just saying, if that's the way you want to go. But Mistress Rogue, you said you think he sucks one dick a day. That to me is lazy. I mean, my goodness, we know mammies that suck 2 or 3 a day and still have time to go on the Clubhouse and YouTube. Like, the fuck?
Oops.
Now, Kyra, he only sucks one dick a day because, well, he working part-time. Sucking dick, it takes a lot of energy out of you, especially if your dick portal is well used. He probably ain't got a gag reflex no more.
God damn. Hey, Too
Wow.
Salty, what you doing? Too Salty, you on mute, boo.
Hey, ladies. Hey, DZ.
Hey.
Hey, just a quick comment on that story about that woman with the husband, with the housing and the rent increase. Okay, first of all, $1,600 a month in Florida. If they can afford to pay that, they can afford a mortgage, even in an expensive area such as Orlando. And then if it goes up to $2,000, if they're willing to pay $2,000, they can definitely afford a mortgage. I think that young lady in that story is lying. They were never looking for housing because or into buying a house, because we know that Black males come with a lot of problems. A lot of it comes from finances and all these little situations. I'm not buying that he's even employed like that. Okay. And then my thing is this. They said in that story, if things had not worked out at that rent office, they were going to move back to Miami with family. At that point, she needs to consider herself single.
Period.
She can move back with just her baby and she can get farther ahead. There's no way in the world she should still be considering herself married and with a husband and all that. That man is not working. He'd be on third shift somewhere.
True girl. I saw you in the back, but your device wasn't connected. That's the true girl, y'all. I just had to put that out there.
She gonna drag that nigga back home with her to her family's house. You already know that.
Oh yeah, like that other video where they were begging the mom to move in and she didn't want the dude to move in. It's gonna be like that all over again.
I hope you heard me, true girl. Connect your device and then you can come up, my darling, my darling. Oh shit, let's go.
from the Schimberg Center for Housing Studies at the University of Florida shows in Orlando, out of every 100 rental units, only 24 are affordable, meaning they cost 30% or less of a person's income. The data also shows while there are enough apartments in Central Florida, the amount landlords charge for them can often make those homes unattainable for most people. And despite the construction we see happening, Schimberg data shows not enough affordable rentals are in development. In fact, Florida is on track to lose more than 66,000 affordable rentals in the next 20 years.
Ladies, that means that those projects and that type of shit, they're not building them anymore. They've been around for a minute, okay? And what's been happening is they have been laden with crime, okay? And they're reproducing like roaches. So it's not working. Projects were supposed to be temporary. They weren't supposed to be generational goddamn residents. So without saying it, they was like, fuck it. We're going to go ahead and pander to the people that actually are doing something with themselves. And you're going to end up, y'all getting ready to see some more skid rows, and not just in Los Angeles and Los Angeles County. It's getting ready to go down. I think they used their last fucking sympathy ticket. I'm serious, because nothing changed. Nothing changed. It's another group of people that I can't mention their names up here because they are a very protected class, but they used to live in projects too, right? And that was temporary to build wealth. Now they're absolutely extremely wealthy. You turned that shit, you buying brand new furniture, you are designing and decorating your project house. That means you didn't understand what that unit was for. That was for you to go to school, keep your kids from being homeless. It was to work to get to that somewhere. You turned that into your own little For Home Buy Us Home magazine. And that's not how that goes. Y'all, why do y'all think those waiting lists are so fucking long? Why do you think the repairs are too fucking long, far away? It's because you're supposed to be there temporarily. You used to see it with a whole bunch of box air conditioners, and that's not a permanent home. But because it was only $17 a month, they turned it into that. And then it became a crime hub. You in there getting your ass beat, because remember, you with the men that beat ass the most. You getting your ass beat, and the cops having to bust drug dealers. They trying to fight before they can even get to your goddamn place. Soon as the cops pull up, you see them spreading like roaches running all over the place, because all of them holding something they're not supposed to hold. They turned the projects into something that it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be so poor people can be comfortable while they built their life. But you have a group of men that hate your guts, though. That's the part you didn't count. And you're pretending like they don't hate your goddamn guts. You are a temporary stop. If this dude that we just saw up here, her husband, whatever, he found somebody that he deemed better, that baby and her would be on their own. He would not have put his wife's face on the representation of their poverty. This shit is ridiculous. And this is just one couple. Mind you, when we end the live tonight, just go ahead and type in Black Love in the search engine, right? You're going to see a bunch of mammies, long eyelashes and long ass motherfucking mouths telling you that's what you should be striving for. I can't. Hey, Leonard, how you doing, boo? Charlie trying to come back up. Hey, Charlie.
Hey,
What your sick
this
butt
is
want?
Charlie from the Discord, actually.
Oh, hey, boo. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Amazing.
Okay, good. So, y'all know my thing is finance. I just wanted to come up here and say, please be careful. 2023 financially is not looking like a good year. Y'all know when the stock market goes down, everyone suffers and feels the pain. There are members of the House Financial Services Committee who are unloading large portions of their portfolio, even some for like Moody's, stuff like that, which is a rating agency. If they're selling, you need to make sure that you have your money saved up, you have an emergency fund. You need to make sure if you want to sell your stocks and stuff like that, you need to figure out if you're going to do that. And you cannot be letting people attach themselves to you, because it's really going to get rough.
Y'all better listen to Charlie. She do whole presentations in Discord with slides and all. The girl is a financial goddamn genius.
So yeah, please just be careful and don't feel pity on people. Don't feel bad for saying no. You have to put yourself first.
Absolutely. Thank you for putting that on. We're going to have to do another presentation with you, girl.
Yes.
Thanks, Charlie. All right. I interrupted the goddamn. Anybody got anything before I get back to acting a fucking fool?
One more thing, BZ. Here's what they need to understand, that just because these people are building all these apartments and now 66% of you can't afford them, the problem was when you brought them niggas. I saw somebody else mention it in the chat, but it's absolutely true. At one point, they had a luxury apartment, I think in like downtown Austin, and they let these black women move in. These women are educated, and they're having shootouts and shit. So they've basically stopped renting to them, and they're closing the doors on renting to anybody like them. As a matter of fact, these apartments are having you list everybody on the damn lease. And if they come up there and find somebody who's not on the lease in the dwelling, please note your lease will not be renewed and you will have to find somewhere else to live.
I'm not feeling nothing, y'all. I really am not feeling anything when it comes to them, because how long have people been offshoot? Listen, black women that talk differently, they have been shooing them out and telling them to get the fuck out their face since C. Dolores Tucker. That woman was trying to tell you, hey, this was years ago, y'all, decades ago. Hey, they don't like you. Hey, you probably should not be doing that with this nigga. Hey, throw a shirt on real quick because he's trying to exploit you. And they literally came for her. Black women literally said, kiss our ass, you old bitch. We want to pop that pussy and throw it in a circle.
I know several female rappers that pretty much told her to go fuck herself, and all she was doing is trying to tell y'all exactly what we're experiencing now. She knew then that, look, y'all need to stop them from degrading y'all in this music, because if you let it get so far out of hand, you'll never be able to pull it back. She was trying to tell them what they doing to y'all image. Stop allowing that shit. But they wanted to twerk their ass to them being called all this shit. And now they talking about they want to be respected. No, it don't work that way. That woman told y'all, don't let them men talk to y'all like that. Don't let them degrade your image like that. Don't let them be disrespectful like that. But now you said the bitch was old and she didn't know what she was talking about. I know Lil' Kim was one of the female rappers that told her to go fuck herself.
She sure did.
And now everything that woman said is coming to fruition, and now they crying about their image. Well, you should have put that shit in check.
Oh, well, it is what it is. Y'all, ladies in the comments, if y'all have ever told somebody don't do something and they went on ahead and told you, fuck you, it's okay to have a little smirk on your face. You ain't got to get smart or nothing, but goddamn it, you warned her. Okay. And then they call it throwing it in your face when you say, well, I told you not to do that. All this shit is completely fucked up. But again, nobody's going to listen to what we're saying, over there on the larger mammy sphere. Okay. And they going to be in some shit. I swear to you, you better put your purse away, put your phone on vibrate, and go get you a latte around this motherfucker. And I mean that shit.
And it's not throwing it in their face. It's called Schadenfreude. It's actually a German word meaning the pleasure one derives from when watching a person get their comeuppance or learn their asses the hard way. Look, they wanted this. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. Like I said, I got some wine and some popcorn. DZ, my chair is right next to yours, and we watching all this shit burn.
Okay. Girl, the motherfuckers hate these women so goddamn much. They took they ass to the Supreme Court for their right to call your ass a bitch and a hoe. But it is what it is. Better off. Are you Dusty?
No, Dizzy, I've been here before.
Okay, that means you're not Dusty. May we have your
I
commentary, please?
Dizzy, let me tell you, I got evicted once in my life. Once. And it was because of a dust bucket trash goblin. And I will never, ever experience that again. This man, you want to talk about, they are just living, breathing sabotage. All they do is exhale, loser. I mean, these dudes will stand here and for example, he couldn't help out with a bill. I'm working, and so I put him out. This man would literally, I lived in New York, he would literally sit in front of my door
and harass me and grab and knock my bag out my door when I'm trying to go to the subway in the morning. I tried to get a restraining order from the police. They said, well, he hadn't done anything overtly aggressive to show that he would harm you. Are you still there? My phone did
Yeah,
something
no, I'm
weird.
still here. I'm just listening to you because you want to know why they said that? Because the women that look like us, they told the court systems and the justice system, stop being rough with black men. You're being racist. You're supposed to come out with a bouquet of flowers when you're arresting our kings. You tell him he's beautiful and his outfit is nice, and ask him nicely to put his hands behind his back after he done whooped her ass. But keep going.
Oh God, DZ. And it's true. It's true. DZ, I wouldn't listen. I kept thinking, you know, maybe if women show the path that when we don't have to be trapped in poverty, you know. And then I met this Jewish man, and this Jewish man said, you know what the problem with your community?
He wears a small hat.
Yeah,
And
because
yeah,
we were right.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
we
sorry, I
can't say
forgot.
the
I
J
can't
word up
say the
here.
word.
Yes, ma'am.
He said, you know what's wrong with your community? He said the women are willing to work, but the men are doing all the opposite of your hard work. So because they're offended by seeing you rise, they think that you're gonna make them look bad. So they're gonna always work against you. So I'm gonna make this real quick because I know you got a whole live you gotta do, and I don't like holding you up. I love your lives. Hi ladies, I'm sorry for being rude and not saying hi to you. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
I stood here and I decided to join the military, right? Do you know this man did everything in his power to tell me, oh, you ain't gonna make it through there. Oh, you ain't gonna do this. You ain't gonna be able to get through there. I said, you know what? Bet. Because I'm the right one.
They all
So then
act
I
like
thought,
that. It just depends on the situation. It can be you graduating from school. It can be you getting a raise. Hell, it can be you losing weight. Although they always telling your ass to lose weight. You start dropping pounds and start, they literally start shaking in their boots because this bitch gonna think she's somebody with that money. This bitch gonna think she's somebody with that goddamn weight off. I need to tell her, you know what? If you lose weight, you still an ugly bitch. Now, make me a sandwich. That's niggas.
DZ, I joined the military, and he was like, "Oh well, yeah, well, if you go to the military, I ain't keep fucking with you." Now, keep in mind, he has no job. I said, "Let me tell you something, my boy. You can't tell me about if you go to the military, you ain't messing with me like you paying bills up in here."
Moral of the
I'm
story
gonna be in a
is,
place.
moral of the
That,
story, you had a dusty. That is
oh
literally
God,
the
DZ.
moral of the story. Okay.
Oh God, DZ. And when I joined, he's talking about, oh, well, you ain't gonna meet nobody. I said the military is 88% males, and guess what? They all got jobs, my guy. So I'm
wish
not
you
worried
wouldn't
about whether
explain
you mess with me or not.
yourself to. I
Huh?
honestly wish you and every other woman that has done this. I wish you wouldn't explain yourself to niggas. Ladies, don't explain yourself to them. They don't
Agreed.
get an explanation from you. All they should see on your way out is ass and heels. That's it. You don't even tell him nothing. Fuck him. Go do you. Nothing you say is going to work for them. Just go.
I needed that, DZ. Thank you, DZ. Thank you, lady. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna drop down so you other people. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. I needed that laugh. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
But DZ, speaking of like the image and them complaining about the image, it's not even just these dusty bum ass ones that refuse to work. You got that city girl over there running around chasing P. Diddy's flaming ass. And people on social media are like, some of them have been like, girl, what are you doing? And then you'll have her and her fan base and people that support that ridiculous behavior talking about, oh, well, she getting to the bag because it's P. Diddy. It's like, no, his old geriatric, dusty, flaming ass, ugly ass. Girl, you
You
look
know,
stupid.
I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I thought about this situation too with, Young Miami and P. Diddy. And I found it very strange how people could understand why Young Miami was fucking around with Diddy, given his connections and what she felt like that could do for her career. Okay, well, he wanted somebody young and beautiful on his old ass arm to make him feel like he still got it. Well, that's fine. You got the clout to get me to where I want to be so we can both benefit from this relationship. They understood that. But that's another thing that Meg had to hold the L on because they talk shit to her for trying to advance her career for leaving 1501. Like she owed Carl Crawford some kind of street code of loyalty, because any new artist that is not signed to a major record label that's trying to make it gonna go where they feel like they got the best odds. Meg left 1501 to go sign with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Who gonna turn down a deal like that? And to be honest with you, she didn't do anything any different than what a lot of the other female hip-hop artists did. They've all done it. But you didn't hear none of that bullshit when it came to them other women doing that shit. She didn't do nothing no different than what them other women did. They saw their opportunity and they took it. Cause when you're trying to make it and you're trying to eat, you don't give a fuck. You gonna get that shit. Fuck that street code like you owe this nigga something. Who finna stop they bag or cut off their money? Or who finna fuck around for trying to be loyal to some shit like that and fuck up their own career when you got the chance to go over here and work with Beyonce, one of the biggest stars in the fucking world, and every damn thing else? Come on now. That's why I say, y'all, they be expecting black women to sacrifice too much of themselves just to prove something to them. That's why I say, fuck all of that shit. Your life becomes so much easier when you stop trying to, like DZ was just saying, stop trying to explain yourself. Do what the fuck you gotta do and do what's best for you, and don't make no apologies for that. And people don't understand that, fuck them. It's just that simple.
But
But
here's
go ahead.
Kara. Go ahead, Kara.
But Aaliyah, black males have been doing that for eons. I remember watching Unsung. Yes, I know Unsung with Mary Wells. She was like the first artist to leave Motown, and she left for a bigger, aka white label. Black radio stations wouldn't even play her music anymore. They destroyed her musical career because she went on for bigger and better.
Who was that?
Exactly.
Mary Wells. You know that song, My Guy?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like they feel like they have to be at the center of every decision that you make. And if you do something that they don't like, they will not support you. And they will stop it. And Joe Budden, bald head ass, was on there trying to talk shit. And I'm like, come on now, motherfucker. You can't judge nobody business ethics when you sat up here. Let's talk to Rory and Mel, shall we? And ask them if you a straight up businessman, because I think they may have something to say about that while he was running his goddamn mouth. And it's like, come on now, y'all are some. See, it goes back to this Blackistan shit. I can't stand, when I tell you, I literally can't stand a lot of them motherfuckers in here. That all that hypocrisy and all that shit, I just can't do it. This double speak, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Stop trying to explain yourself and the moves you make to these people. Do what is best for you. If they don't understand that, they can go fuck themselves. It's just that simple.
To that point, Leah, I don't even understand how black women think they owe black men a goddamn thing. Let's be real. I've always said it. Everyone here can attest to it as well. History has already shown us. Whenever somebody got on their ass, who the fuck did they run behind for cover? When they couldn't eat on the plantation because they pissed off the master, who gave them subsistence via breast milk? It was black women. I am not explaining a goddamn thing to a motherfucker that ain't never done anything, who is always hidden behind my skirt tails for cover. You can shut the fuck up and stay in your goddamn place, and your place ain't next to me. I don't understand why black women have not yet realized the only reason these niggas exist is because y'all won't stop fucking them and birthing them. If you stop fucking them and stop birthing them, you can exercise your God-given right to never have to deal with one of these motherfuckers again. Just be done already. Aren't y'all tired of the same goddamn shit? I'm tired of the same song, and this is why I'm like you, Aaliyah. This shit be frustrating me so bad that I can't deal. I literally can't stand this shit.
It pisses me off because it's like, motherfucker, what business is it of yours? What business is it of any motherfucking bodies? That woman did what the fuck she had to do for herself. And what that got to do with you? That's why I said that they always got something to say. It's like, nigga, mind your motherfucking business and keep your mouth shut. They always got something to say. They think they can rule you and tell you what to do and try to keep your ass bound to some goddamn fucking street code and all this other shit. That's why they kill me trying to pretend like they didn't. I'll never understand why she was protecting him. You motherfuckers lying, because you sat up here and y'all know how y'all have been still the no snitching code. Snitches get stitches, remember? Y'all have drilled into black women forever Do not call the police. Do not do that shit because you're putting them in danger when you do that. That's why I say I don't know why are y'all motherfuckers playing dumb. I don't like this two-faced shit. I just don't. Y'all know why. Y'all shut the fuck up.
I just want to say, shout out to Chili from TLC. She debuted her boo.
I saw that.
And he's not of the orangutan species.
And shout out to the
her.
universe for letting that motherfucker get his chest hit earlier last night. Y'all know my husband is a fucking football fan, and I saw that nigga drop. I'm like, ooh, is the universe real or no?
And another one bites the dust.
And they have the audacity to be trying to cancel Skip. Now, I don't even watch sports like that, but I've been keeping up. That man ain't say nothing wrong. I need to stop. Just because that's a member of y'all's protected class, that don't mean everybody got to dance around and not be able to speak and speak their minds. Like, please, have a seat. Stop trying to cancel everybody that's not worshiping the kings.
They sit around and wait. They just sit around. And black people sit around and they just look at everybody talk and wait till they get offended. Somebody can say something real fucking awesome. They gonna let that pass. They wait to get offended. That was wrong. Now, can I get a lower rent? Let me get some food stamps. Oh, childcare, Section 8. Also, you need to treat me like somebody. But I'm like, I wouldn't talk around a whole bunch of black folk either if I wasn't, black. It is what it is. Go ahead, Kyra. She must have dropped. Now, check this out. It's all of them. I say that a billion times. All of us say that shit. Remember, you know what a mammy is. They come from these mammy ass black women. Some of the even, what do you want to call it? I guess you call them fence sitters, the ones that see the problem with the black community, but they kind of are not ready to be done with the black community. I don't think, and it's just my opinion, that you should be sitting up waiting for one of these old bitches to have one of these fucking babies called a son and then getting with them. Because remember, that's his other woman. Now, mind you, you're going to see a lot of niggas moving back in with their mama. This is what's happening because when your ass get homeless, black woman, because of what's coming down the pike this year that we talked about for the past 2 years, that's finally coming to fruition. They're going to go back home with their mother, i.e. their other woman. So the fence sitters are feeling a little antsy. Let's go.
I walk in with my tool out. It's getting too loud. It's making two sound. Bitch, grease in there trying to sleep.
This is for educational purposes. Number one, all boy moms are not the same. Let me get that out the way. But the majority that we see on social media all have something in common. They use boy mom as their personality trait overall. And a lot of them we've seen that end up having daughters mistreat the daughter, but still treat their son like a king. There were a lot of boy moms in the comment section saying, I have a son, 2 daughters, I have 1 son, 1 daughter, and they were all saying, what you are saying right now on this caption is harmful. I even saw women like, yeah, my son is the man of the house. Girl, your son is 10. And what I also see in a lot of these boy mom situations is they say, it's okay for my son to go date. I don't mind who he dates. And they are completely controlling over what their sons do because they want to be the only woman in their sons' lives. And they'll say they don't mind, but their actions definitely say different. There's a lot of emotional incest within our community. I can't speak for other communities, but I can say for ours, the emotional incest is out of control. Some of y'all do treat your sons like they are your man, and you do not realize it. And you wonder why he has messed up situations and relationships that are even platonic with other women as they get older. Some of y'all are trying to raise your sons into the man that you wanted, and you do not realize that. Your son is not your man, he's your son. The caption could have simply stated, my son is protective over me. But because, again, our community has a habit of treating their sons like they are their man, we have to be mindful of the language that we are using.
So here's my point. If you leave these bitches' sons alone, problem solved. Just like that. You ain't got to go back and forth with no mammy ass bitch about Taquan. Just leave him alone. She's correct with that emotional incest. You can tell it's one of these women that's finally trying to see what's going on with the black community, because y'all not gonna tell me that she didn't spend any time pro-black. You could tell. I'm just gonna leave that right there. But you can leave their sons alone altogether. Ain't no retraining, ain't none of that shit. Literally, these bitches act like the other woman. This boy can have kids with this woman and they start experiencing that rent increase and all that shit. She'll let him come home and to hell with you. because it can only be one woman in the house according to her. Okay, go ahead.
But it was so wrong when we said it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna ask, did they dox her and get her fired yet for speaking on their thuns?
I don't know.
She wasn't wrong though, y'all. When you think about the dynamic within Blackistan, especially between mothers and their sons, they do look at these sons as version of the men they wanted that would not stay with them. So essentially, they will lionize him in the house, and then God forbid, well, depending on who you ask, and if the little motherfucker gets turned into a bullet bag, they'll try to deify him upon his departure. This is just kind of the MO of what they do in that community.
Yeah,
But they think it's normal.
BZ been talking about them hub sons though. She been talking about that and how they sit up and use them, act like them sons are their lovers and their men, and treat how they treat the girlfriends. That's why they can't get along with none of the girlfriends and all this shit. BZ had been addressed that. My thing is, it was so wrong when she said it though. But
She
it's I
probably
guess
was a cloud watcher and got it from DZ.
Oh, this is a hot ass mess. It is what it is. Out of all the financial issues, all the rent increases, some of these women are going to be losing their food sources and all that shit. That's going to be what it is. It's going to be sad to see, but it's not your responsibility to fix. Just brace yourself and get ready. When you go grocery shopping, get an extra can or two or extra bag of frozen vegetables or whatever, and set it to your stash, your little frozen stash, for if anything gets out of control, because these people, they losing their damn mind. But check it out. With all that happening, all the housing, all that shit, your number one problem is still these niggas being violent. And when they get hungry, they get more violent. I'm trying to tie this together. As they start losing money and losing whatever their income is, they're not going to just sit there and starve. They're going to come after you. So you have to keep your head on a swivel, right? You can look cute and do all the stuff that you're doing, you're learning in these femininity courses and all that good shit. There's a such thing as feminine sweatpants, but I digress, right? Just make sure you're looking at your surroundings. I want y'all to take a look at this, because this is going to be happening more often this year. I think we're going to go down to 4 hours this year instead of 4.8. Let's go. I might have to rewind it a little bit.
And now in court today, that 44-year-old man arrested for allegedly shooting a woman in the head last week on a Metro Rail train. Markeith Jermaine Allison, now charged with aggravated assault. Aniela Ruiz speaking with the family of the victim. She is live outside the jail with the latest. Aniela?
Well, her family tells me they're relieved the suspect was arrested, and now they're praying that their loved one will recover soon. 27-year-old Mary Jo Kelly is in the medical center recovering from her injuries. Last Wednesday, she was shot in the head and arm while she was inside the Metro Rail on the 5400 block of Grigg Street.
If y'all are thinking they were in a relationship, you are wrong. He had a crush on her. Okay. More and more black women are turning their nose up at certain motherfuckers. I don't know what her current boyfriend looks like, but hey, it is what it is. They are entitled. And when they don't get what they want, food, money, sex, whatever it is, they jump on you and they don't ask. They just go ahead and hit it. That's why I want y'all to be safe. But I wanted to bring up this too. This motherfucker here is her brother. Hear what he got to say, and I'm fixing to drag his motherfucking ass.
She was texting her boyfriend, and he was like, come meet me on the train.
Sadly, Mary's younger brother says she didn't make it there safely.
Saw my sister walking to the train, and he just attacked her.
He witnessed that shit. Hold the fucking phone. Yo, what happened to, I ain't protecting nobody, but if it's my sister and my mama, I'll protect her. Y'all don't get protection from me. We don't owe y'all shit. Okay, here we go. That's his sister. Make no mistake about it. These niggas are not going to protect any black women. That includes their mama and sister. He witnessed this shit. I saw my sister walking to the train and he just attacked her. Well, sir, Naker, didn't y'all say that you'll protect your family? I'm showing you this because of a myriad of reasons. As far as the money goes, as far as the protection goes, they don't have it. They don't have it. Keep going.
According to investigators, Mary tried to get on the train to hide from 44-year-old Markeith Jeremiah Allison. They say Mary knew Markeith. Her family says he liked her, but she didn't like him.
She got into it with...
Oops. 5 seconds. Let's go.
Knew Markeith. Her family says he liked her, but she didn't like him.
She got into it with the dude that day, prior to that day, and he left.
Court documents say investigators have surveillance video of Markeith entering the train and say he approached Mary and grabbed her by the back of her head and then fired his gun into her head. He shot her twice and fled the area on his bicycle.
It was evilness, hatred. He had the devil in him.
Look at his face, y'all. Just take a look at
evilness, hatred. He had the.
This is a 44-year-old black man coming on to a 27-year-old black girl. Now, check it out. Her brother watched it. She had her cell phone. She was texting her significant other. She did everything she could. I don't know what the laws are as far as guns in their state. It looked like they're Houston, so that's an open carry state. She did everything she had available to her, and it still didn't work. This is what's happening out here. Okay, you don't tell a black man no. This is a 44-year-old black man riding a bike. They're broke. They're broke. The basic necessities as an adult is transportation. Okay, let's finish.
The devil in him. I just was asking why this would happen to a sweet person like her.
Markeith was arrested over the weekend thanks to 3 tipsters who spotted him on the Metro bus and called police. Mary's family grateful he was caught.
Took some weight off me and my people's shoulders. You know, this won't happen to another person again.
Mary was taken to the hospital where she was put in an induced coma and underwent surgery. Her family says she's lucky to be alive and feel a guardian angel was watching over her.
It's not getting worse. It's getting better. The swelling going down. The bleeding is stopping a little bit. You know, they say one day at a time, step by step, and God say it's not a time. She's just getting better and better day by day, and I'm so thankful.
Were y'all able to understand that thing that was standing here?
That nigga made me sick. I can't. Like, this is what he thought. Like, oh, if God say he's gonna, it would have been better if the nigga hadn't shot her. Furthermore, you so motherfucking broke. You couldn't even flee on a car. You were on a kid's bike. What the fuck is wrong with them? How is it getting better?
I mean, this is what the fuck irritates me. It's like this pisses me off because when you look at that woman and you see how tiny she is, and this big motherfucker pull up on her looking like a fucking grizzly bear, trying to talk to somebody who was so far out of his fucking league, and he knew when he looked at her, she was out of his league. And as soon as she say, "Hey, I can't talk to you," guess what? I got a boyfriend. Oh, let me go ahead and just take her out. What the hell? I can't do it. I cannot do it. You cannot justify this shit to me. You cannot.
Look, we talked about this motherfucker earlier. There's black women trying to get him out of jail. There will always be a black woman there for a black man. You have to go. There's going to be multiple women there that'll take your ass out so that she can win what they think is the prize, and that's this nigga here. But I want to ask y'all a question. Do y'all remember this motherfucker right here, Will, the one who's 48 looking for a submissive woman, right? That's going to be educated and thick, must know how to cook 3 meals a day, no ugly women, no BBW, and the allowance is $40 a week. Do y'all remember this ugly cocksucker here?
Yeah, I remember that.
The one that couldn't get his eyeballs to submit to One Direction.
Yes.
Yes, Shane. Yes, thank you. That was a gem.
Do you know when we talked about him the first time, we said there was going to be some black woman that'll do it. Because we always say that there's going to be some black woman that'll fuck with them. They just want the women they can't have. But there's going to be a black woman to fuck with them. Check out the comment section. Let's go. Hey, I'm interested. I could have passed the fuck out. Hey, I'm interested. Check out what he says. You know how to cook, right? She says, yes, like a chef. Willing to do everything. You hear me? They willing to bend over backwards for these niggas. That's one of the reasons you got to go. Because you're not up for that type of competition. You don't want to be part of that type of shit. They ready to go. She said, are you rich? Absolutely not. But he said, you give me gold digger vibes. I'll pass. I'm done. I'm done. Will was able to have his choice. Will had somebody with all of those ridiculous ass stipulations to come in his goddamn comment section and say yes. But we knew that was going to happen because they can be completely fucked up. Felonies all over the fucking place. Just out of shape, broke, don't know how to read past a 5th grade level. And guess what? There will be a mammy that's willing to do him. As a matter of fact, if that's your man, she'll be willing to fuck him too. You heard the ladies earlier on that short I just showed a minute ago. They don't mind sharing them. The community is fucked up. Grab your shit and get the fuck out of there. True Gal, because you was trying to get on earlier. I ain't want to leave without you being able to say what you need to say.
No, that's okay, DC. You pretty much summed it up just from the beginning to the very end of what you were saying with these men who have zero financial literacy, who are in communities, the community, who it's like they don't even believe in making a way and learning something. Like, I know stories of just people who are not native born US citizens who come here, and within 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they have businesses. They go to little trainings, they open up shops, they start out in their homes, and then they branch out. And I'm just looking at these people on your video who are in need of resources, and I'm just like, there's so many government programs that will train you to learn a skill, and then you take that skill and do something with it. But the community is so ass backwards and self-hating. It's just like they kill each other before they can even get out the door. Sorry, go ahead, whoever.
Oh no, I was just about to say, see, what you're saying makes sense, but see, that will require them to actually work for something, which means you got to actually get up out of the bed, go commit yourself to going to a program every day on time, and you actually have to do the work once you get into the program. So that requires a certain amount of discipline. This is what they're not going to do, and this is why they try to frown on people with formal education. Because and then they think that, and then they try, that's why they try to shame you and call you think you better than everybody, you got this elitist attitude. And it's like, no, so you're mad at me because I had discipline to do what you didn't do? Well, fuck you. How about that? I ain't got to make no apologies for that shit. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's why I said that everything, you're right about the programs that they have. Not only do they have the federal Pell Grant, but they also have, huh?
Oh, she went on mute. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, not only do they have the federal Pell Grant, but they also have WIA. They got several programs that you can get into that will help you get money for college that you don't have to pay back, as long as you're getting, as you don't have a degree, if you want to trade, if you want a skill, it's money out there that's available that you won't have. All you have to do is do the work, do the research, ask questions. I mean, they stay on their phones all the time with everything else. Look this shit up. Stop being lazy. God.
You never lied. I'm telling you, it's a whole rainbow of people about to get into the trades. And I'm just like, our people sit around. Well, excuse me. The community.
We don't know them here. We don't fuck with those folks.
The community.
We don't claim them.
Will sit around and do drugs and drink alcohol. And I'm not, it is what it is. Some people say I was about to use mental illness, but I don't want to go down that route because I got a whole nother idea about that. But it's about to get bad, and
yep, that's the part I was looking for you to say. It's getting ready to get horrendous around this bitch. Just watch. Everything we said has come true. Everything, without exception. Okay.
Aaliyah, I wanted to add, the thing is, you said that they had to get out of bed to do these programs. Not really. A lot of stuff is online now, so they could literally lay in bed and get a whole certificate, but they're too lazy. But you did have an oxymoron, though. You said nacre and learn in the same sentence, and that is an oxymoron. They don't learn.
No, you're right. You tell no lies. I'm not. Oh, and I wanted the one more thing about this last guy, and that's it. But these men who are looking for these women to like do all this stuff for them, this lady, I remember listening to this show and she was like, these men will resent you.
They will.
Yes.
And they do. These black men hate these black women. Period. There's no nothing after that. They hate them. And the black women are egging it on by continue to beg, oh, what can we do? Am I not feminine enough? I cook 3 meals a day. I get the dick all the way in my mouth down to the base. My fucking lips are touching your pubic hair, sir. Ass bitches. So yeah, they gonna hate their ass. Y'all,
I have something real quick on education. Listen, you know what? They don't need that formal education when they have homeless people on YouTube offering to sell courses to tell them how to make money. That's all the education they need.
I can't. I'm fixing to go gossip a little bit and be extra and go violate some community guidelines on Discord. So thank y'all for coming. I'll see y'all Friday. I'll see you ladies in a couple minutes.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.